organize a discussion in your class on the topic, are viruses living or non-living? So students, let us see, are viruses living or non-living? So we learned about the cell theory, right? So according to cell theory, any organism to be called living, they should have a typical cell. They should be made up of a cell. Now a cell consists of cytoplasm, nucleus and the cell organelles. So when all these things are present, we call that entity as a living organisms. But viruses are submicroscopic organisms. Sometimes they show both living as well as non-living. So they have the characteristics of both living and non-living. So let us see what are the living characteristics. So virus consists of DNA or RNA. They have a genetic material which can either be DNA or RNA, and it is covered by a protein coat. So here we can see they have a genetic material, and this genetic material is covered by a protein unit or the protein coat, which is called capsid. So similarly, here also in bacteriophage, this brown structure is the genetic material and this whole thing is the protein coat. So virus consists of genetic material, either DNA or RNA, which is covered by the protein coat. Now since they have the nucleic acid, the genetic material, the viruses can be considered as living organisms. And once they are within the host organisms, inside the host, they can reproduce, they can multiply. So all these characters says that the viruses are living organisms. But if they are present outside the host, they cannot reproduce. They depend upon the host machinery for reproduction. So if they are outside the host organisms, the virus cannot reproduce. And the cell, they do not possess a true cell. A true cell is one which has got a nucleus, cytoplasm and the cell organelles. But here there is no cytoplasm, only the genetic material is present, and this genetic material is covered by a protein coat. So such a cell is called acellular. So virus is acellular in nature and they depend upon the host cell machinery in order to multiply. So these characters show that the viruses are non-living. Suppose if the viruses are present outside the host organisms, they can be preserved without being affected for millions of years. So this is a property of a non-living organisms. And like living organisms, once inside the host organisms, they can multiply rapidly. So they show both the characteristics of living as well as non-living. So hence it is a mystery to classify these viruses into the modern systematics. So that is the reason the viruses are not classified in any of the 5 kingdoms. So it is not present in the kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia and Plantae, because it shows both the characteristics of living and non-living, and it is acellular in nature.